Welcome back, everybody. Will Worsham joins us now for this week's Speaking Legal discussion, where he answers a viewer's legal question right here on the air. Are you ready?
Sure, I'm ready.
All right, Will, here we go. Let's take a look at the question. My grandmother died and left behind 3 children, one of which, of course, is my father. She sold a house a while ago, but was still receiving payments on it. After her death, the amount was expected to be paid in full to my father. He wants to use the money to pay for funeral expenses, then distribute it evenly between the siblings. What should he do to safeguard himself and remain in the legal realm for taxes as well as legality matters in the future? What do you say?
Okay, well, this question has got a lot to it. You know, my first question back on this is, how did the money get to the father here? Was it a will? Was it a trust? How was this money distributed to him? Because that's going to kind of determine what he has the rights and ability to do with this money. If it just went to him just because he was like the executor on the estate, that it's not necessarily his to do with whatever he wants with. It's going to be controlled by the probate law. So can he pay funeral expenses out of that? Yeah, the estate's responsible for paying for funeral expenses for the decedent, the person that died. Beyond that, then, if this is something where the grandmother did not have a will or an estate plan, then the laws of the something about that made me think it was out of state. Maybe not. But the laws of the state where she passed away are going to be controlling of how that estate is going to be distributed amongst the people. If he's the executor, then he's going to have to do what the court says. Okay, it could be that it came to him as part of a trust, and he, as the trustee, is directed to distribute those assets in a particular manner according to the terms of the trust. It could be that he was gifted that as part of either the trust or the estate or a will. So that money is all his because that was the way it was presented through the estate plan.
Right.
If that's the case, then he can do with it whatever he wants, but he does it as if it's his own money. And that means that IRS gift tax rules are going to apply. So that means, if you may or may not be familiar with that, and I don't like to get too far into taxes, it's outside the realm of what I normally deal with, but if you give over so much money, and it used to be $10,000, I think it's come up to $12,000 per person, then you, as the person that gives the money, have to pay a tax on that. And so I don't know exactly how much money we're dealing with here, but if he's giving away a substantial amount of money in any one calendar year to any one person, then that's where the tax realms.
It's income.
It wouldn't be income to the person he gives it to. It's a gift. Yeah. But the gift tax, he has to pay tax on it because of gift tax.
Right. But if now it were a trust that was dissolved.
Well, once again, it's not. Income is earned income. Either it's earned because you had a job and you got paid for that job, or it's earned because you had an investment that paid you a dividend. Okay. Or you sold something, and then that's capital gains income. That's what income tax is for. This realm is more in the gift. I didn't earn it. Somebody just gave it to me. And even estate taxes apply. They work in the realm of the gift arena. And the rules on that can be very, very complicated, and amounts apply, and they can certainly vary from state to state. But as far as what he's legally allowed to do with it, in any scenario where the money's actually his to do with as he wishes, he can do that. Otherwise from that, he may just be in the position of the person who's the trustee or the executor, and he has to do what he's directed to.
I wonder about the beginning of that question where it said there are still payments being made. And what's the original agreement on the purchase of that house?
Well, that's a good pickup, Joy, because, yeah, that's a real issue there. If you buy a house, it would be very unusual for me as the purchaser to say, yeah, I'll just make payments until this person dies and then I'll pay it off in full. So I'm not sure where this pot of money is coming from that's going to pay it off, unless it could be one of these reverse mortgage type of things.
Exactly, that's what I was thinking.
But then that would have, the only way that would work is the reverse mortgage would get paid off, because that's what you're doing. You're borrowing money incrementally from a bank.
Right.
So that note would have to be paid off. Then if there was any equity left in the house and the house is sold, then there'd be a pot of money to distribute. That could be it, but that's not exactly what the question said. You're right. The question leaves something very ambiguous at the very beginning about why this would get paid off and there would suddenly be a lump sum before there were only payments.
Get legal advice.
Yeah, get legal advice. That's what it was. Yeah. Will, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it once again. If you have a legal question for Will, you can email him at wworsham@color10.com, and he'll answer your question on our show.
Thanks again.